We have condoms on our coffee table. I can't decide if they prevent miracles or mistakes. My 17-year-old cousin's Facebook status says he still wants to know how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. A little boy at work asked how many no's he can ignore until she really means stop. Little girls have stopped wishing to have their virginity back. They simply wish they had more cherries to pop, and no one's asking questions anymore. I guess sex speaks louder than words, and the only word they have heard is wait. And they've been left to fill in the blanks. So maybe she'll wait until he says, I love you. And maybe he'll wait until his 13-year-old girlfriend says she's ready. And the world will turn a blind eye. And the self-righteous will be all too ready to forsake and cast the very stones God wiped their names from. Their parents will blame the education system for teaching sex in the schools. And the schools will say we're not their parents and their children are still left to wait. And what do we have to offer them? What answers do we have to give when divorce rates are at nearly 50%? What we preach and what we practice no longer makes sense. Just look at the statistics. We can no longer hide from the truth. Sex is everywhere. It's in our music, our games, our television, on our internet, in our schools. So why do we treat it like such a taboo when it comes to our mouths? We walk on eggshells, speak a virgin's ear, say shh, shh, shh. There are kids here. When they probably get it in more than you, let's finally address the elephant in the room. No one speaks of the birds and the bees anymore. And we wonder why our children are struggling to learn their ABCs but can write notes clearly describing exactly what's beneath the jeans of a girl in his 6th period English class. And I assure you, now is not the time to pass on responsibility. It's not just those kids are their kids, these are our kids. Our little brothers, our little sisters, our cousins, our nieces, and our nephews. I don't know what I will say when I hear the word sex come from my little sister's mouth, but I know I will refuse to remain silent. I will tell her the truth. I will tell her my flaws and hope she doesn't learn the hard way, but if she should choose to find out herself, I would only wish to make sure she knows how to use protection. If she should choose to find out herself, I only wish to make sure she knows how to use protection. Just because we refuse to talk does not mean they will refuse to engage in the action. We don't send our soldiers across seas without guns because we don't believe in war. It's going to take more than kneeling on our knees to see change. Maybe it's us that we need to change. Someone has got to break the chains of silence and speak to them. And maybe it's too late to say wait, but it's never too late to start over. So maybe we should start over together. No more raping our souls for physical pleasure. Sex was meant to be beautiful, divine. So it's about time we stop covering our eyes and open our mouths and tell them. Let's stop hiding behind God and tell them. Let's stop covering our ears and tell them. They've already found out more than we give them credit for. So we have condoms on our coffee table, books that show you how to have the best damn sex ever, lips that won't sugarcoat, and a God that loves both sinners and saints. So don't complain that condoms on coffee tables ain't socially acceptable and politically correct. Neither is a stone cold fact that most of our children are already having sex.